Imagine a fighting style designed solely to keep you alive, where rules don't exist and hesitation can mean death. Krav Maga emerged from real battlefields, teaching methods to swiftly disable any attacker. Strikes aimed at the eyes, throat, and joints are routine, and the pain they cause is intentional. MMA strictly forbids these same moves. They're brute uses to approach. These banned techniques aren't merely dangerous. They reveal a deeper, unsettling truth about what separates survival from sport. To truly grasp why Krav Maga techniques aren't allowed in MMA, we have to look at their roots. Krav Maga wasn't born in a gym or dojo. It emerged from chaos. Created by Imi Lichtenfeld to protect Israeli military personnel in life or death situations, this fighting system prioritizes immediate, overwhelming force. The only goal is survival. Every tactic taught in Krav Maga focuses on quickly neutralizing a threat, often in the most aggressive manner possible. Training scenarios deliberately replicate real-world violence. Practitioners learn to handle situations involving multiple attackers or armed opponents, where hesitation can lead to serious injury or death. Unlike traditional martial arts, which prize honor and fair play, Krav Maga teaches instinctive reactions that exploit the body's weakest points: eyes, throat, groin, and joints. These moves aren't accidental or excessive, they're purposeful. Each technique is designed to instantly stop an attacker, without concern for fairness or mercy. For Krav Maga fighters, the concept of restraint doesn't apply when lives are at stake. The system encourages decisive, ruthless action to escape danger. This dark reality is why Krav Maga remains effective, and exactly why its techniques aren't allowed inside MMA cages, where rules keep aggression under control. By comparison, MMA exists within clear boundaries, governed by a detailed rulebook called the Unified Rules of Mixed Martial Arts. These rules deliberately forbid techniques that cause permanent or disproportionate damage. Eye pokes, throat punches, groin strikes, joint manipulation, and spinal attacks are completely off limits. MMA isn't simply about fighting, it's about athletic skill, sportsmanship, and protecting competitors from unnecessary harm. Each banned technique carries severe penalties, ranging from point deductions to outright disqualification. For example, an eye gouge in the cage isn't merely penalized because it's painful. It's banned because it can blind an opponent permanently. Throat strikes, equally dangerous, risk critical respiratory injuries. Groin strikes aren't just painful. They can incapacitate fighters completely, stopping the competition unfairly. Referees enforce these bans rigorously, preserving the integrity and safety of the sport. The distinct gap between these MMA guidelines and Krav Maga's no-holds-barred approach underscores exactly why such brutal moves never cross over into regulated fighting events. Eye gouges and throat strikes aren't optional extras in Krav Maga. They're central to its survival philosophy. Practitioners learn precise methods of targeting an attacker's vision, poking or gouging eyes deliberately to immediately disable a threat. Similarly, precise, powerful strikes to the throat aim to cut off breathing or cause severe injury, ending a conflict instantly. In MMA, these same actions are strictly forbidden due to their brutal consequences. A single strike to the eye risks permanent blindness, and even moderate pressure to the throat can trigger life-threatening injuries. MMA regulators understand these dangers clearly and set strict boundaries to protect fighters from permanent harm. Techniques specifically engineered to cause maximum injury quickly are banned. MMA's rules ensure fights remain competitive tests of skill and strategy rather than lethal encounters. Krav Maga practitioners regularly drill techniques aimed explicitly at the groin and midsection, training to cause immediate and incapacitating pain. A solid knee or kick to this region forces attackers into instant submission. The logic is simple. The more vulnerable the area, the more effective the strike. Within MMA, however, such strikes are explicitly banned. Even accidental groin hits result in serious penalties because MMA prioritizes fair competition above swift incapacitation. Fighters must accidental impacts, but any deliberate targeting leads quickly to disqualification. This strict regulation reveals just how incompatible Krav Maga's ruthless practicality is with MMA's standards of sportsmanship. Targeting the body's small joints like the fingers, toes, wrists is standard practice in Krav Maga training. Practitioners learn these manipulations to quickly incapacitate an attacker by breaking or severely injuring these delicate areas. Likewise, spinal strikes are part of the curriculum because they cause immediate immobilization or even paralysis. MMA forbids these techniques categorically. The reasoning is straightforward. Small joint manipulation causes injuries disproportionate to competitive advantage. A broken finger ends fights unnecessarily and unfairly. Similarly, any attack aimed at the spine risks disabling a fighter. MMA safe separates itself from the battlefield realism that Krav Maga embraces. Beyond lethal strikes and manipulations, Krav Maga incorporates moves widely considered unsportsmanlike in competitive fighting. Hair pulling, biting, scratching, fish hooking, each is taught as an acceptable tactic if it means survival. In an unpredictable street confrontation, these methods effectively distract or control attackers, buying precious seconds. But MMA views these same actions as blatant violations of sportsmanship and dignity. Fighters who resort to these tactics face immediate penalties or disqualification. The MMA cage is intended as a stage for disciplined athleticism, technical precision, and respectful competition, not chaotic brawling. By strictly outlawing dirty fighting tactics, MMA further emphasizes its extreme difference from Krav Maga's unfiltered approach to conflict. At the heart of MMA's extensive rules lies one fundamental goal: protect fighters while preserving fair competition. Moves allowed, even encouraged, in Krav Maga, such as eye gouges, throat strikes, groin attacks, and joint manipulations, directly threaten fighter safety. MMA explicitly forbids them to maintain athlete longevity and the integrity of the sport. These banned techniques aren't just dangerous, they're intentionally devastating, meant for life-threatening confrontations rather than structured competition. Allowing them in MMA would drastically change the sport, turning it into a dangerous exhibition rather than a controlled contest. By forbidding these moves, MMA ensures a safe, competitive environment, heavily contrasting Krav Maga's approach of prioritizing survival by any means necessary. Ultimately, Krav Maga and MMA represent two fundamentally different philosophies. Krav Maga emerged from conflict, built on a philosophy of ending confrontations quickly and brutally. Its methods, though effective, are deliberately designed to cause immediate and severe harm. MMA, on the other hand, is built on principles of athleticism, skillful competition, and safety. The cage operates with firm boundaries, rules designed explicitly to avoid permanent injury. The banned Krav Maga techniques perfectly illustrate this fundamental split between survival and sport. Krav Maga's tactics may ensure survival on the street, but MMA's regulated competition prioritizes fairness and fighter safety. Each system succeeds precisely because it suits its environment. One thrives in chaos, the other in control, and the boundary separating them remains fixed by necessity.